Okay, hi there, it's of course Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how's it going? This is a video response to Turdil, who was very kind enough to submit a video response to my video about myself becoming a therapeutic coach, which I personally saw as being like the next logical progression on to, the next stage of my life, basically, as far as my character online is concerned, what I do and what I'm about. In accordance with the wishes of people who have commented on that one particular video, as well as so it would seem Turdil himself. No, I'm not going to be completely leaving the, what you might call the occult type aspects of what I am and what I was, what I'm doing. No, I'm not going to. I don't think I can, because it's just as much of who I am and what I am as like my skin, my bones, my body. It's me. Sorry, Turdil also mentioned the idea at some point of doing a parody video about Nick Dutch because of the thing I normally say about all of this like weird paranormal subject. And that's because I always say, we don't know, or I don't know, or we can't ever know. And there's lots of reasons for that. Because, yes, rationally and logically speaking, we can't really apply too much in the way of hard empirical facts to the experiences. The only real fact is that there are these strange experiences. That's the way I personally see it. But also, what about the ethics and the morality of providing an explanation? Okay, every single time someone provides an explanation to something which is like really big, then there is an ethical consideration there as well. And it's those ethical considerations which really seriously have to be thought about. Now, if I was someone who was to make a strong statement, such as, if I do this one particular ritual in a certain way, then yes, I am in communication with an angel, a demon, a spirit guide, or whatever, and they actually exist, then what effect would that have upon the thoughts of other people? Okay? People who are investing a great quantity of faith in what I'm doing and what I'm saying. How would it affect them? Okay? And what dangerous passages or pathway of thought will that take them on? This is one of my serious concerns. And it's a concern based upon experiences and me seeing what has happened to people who have thought themselves insane. Okay, you can drive yourself insane through lots of different ways. Okay, and one of them is just thinking bad things. Okay, thinking things inappropriately, coming to bad conclusions. All this stuff can be really, really detrimental to your average human being. Okay, it's just the way that things are. We're an amazing species, yes. We are very highly evolved, very highly intellectually evolved, yes. But we still, as a species or as individuals, we want to have a hard truth claim. We want to have a feeling that we are truly in charge of and in possession of the one true facts of everything. This is how the conspiracy theorists do it, okay? Because they are promoting to the world that we, the conspiracy theorists who believe in like Alex Jones or David Icke or the reptilians, the aliens, and all the rest of that, we are the ones who are truly in charge, in touch with the true knowledge. And the fundamentalist extremists of religion say, no, we're the ones who have the full and complete knowledge because we believe that Jesus Christ really did literally raise himself from the dead. Well, we don't know that, okay? We got a great mythology, which has got some great things in it, but, okay, there's still questions. So instead of thinking like, this is fact, therefore you must accept it, instead of thinking about what good can someone get from living a style of life which is dominated by these ideas? This is why I promote this particular message. It's because it keeps people saner, alright? And it stops people from going completely and utterly insane. Because people think, okay, well, if that little bit's true, then what about this little bit here? Then what about that little bit there? Then what about that little bit there? And therefore the world really is flat and resting on the back of 4 elephants on top of a turtle which is really hurtling through space, and Terry Pratchett was in fact the one and only true author of like reality in the universe, and forget Stephen Hawking, no, he's wrong, okay? Forget Einstein, he was completely wrong, no, Terry Pratchett is obviously the one, okay? I actually knew someone who believed as not just an article of faith, but as facts, alright, who actually believed as facts that science fiction, all science fiction, is past lives remembered. Okay, past lives on other planets that have been re-remembered. maybe, but on the other hand, let's be honest here, maybe not. Okay, just like maybe the heck not. And in any way, in what kind of real practical benefit can one have in believing that Star Trek was in fact some kind of like factual, historical document of something which happened somewhere on another plane or planet, or has been telepathically communicated to Gene Roddenberry through some kind of telepathic communication from the future? What good does that do anybody? Now, this individual in question did have some strange experiences which he related to me, but he made a mistake, the intellectual mistake of extrapolating too far. I want to stop people from extrapolating too far, except that the strange experiences seem to occur. Unlike the skeptics who say, no, you're deluding yourself, those experiences didn't occur, I say they're wrong, because my personal experiences suggest that they are wrong, and I've spoken to lots of other people who've had other experiences which seem to correlate in some manner with my own. Therefore, the experiences appear to have some kind of reality, but what they mean, there's still lots of questions. Okay, are you with me so far? Right. Then we got to think about what else have I learned on my journey when going through, talking to these people, learning this, that, and the other, getting myself a mind machine, playing around with that, learning about meditation, learning about the effect that doing meditation on different colours seems to have had upon myself, learning how to do introspection in lots of different ways, and whether that can actually be used as part of a therapeutic way of life. Then referring back to what people actually do in religions, okay, the benefits of it, without all this damn literalist stuff. And think about what people actually got from this, that, and the other, and to realise that yes, there is in fact a wealth of benefits which are there, often intangible, okay, but essentially it's still kind of like there. All right, so then to move on to the next stage of what can I personally do with all of this like quantity of knowledge and information which has been accumulated over a period of time. And that's why I'm going to moving on to this sort of like life coach stroke therapeutic coach kind of character. In which case it's a different attitude. I mean, if I was going to be really rather rude to myself, basically, really rude to my own industry, I would say that tarot reading is when the reader talks and the customer feels good. Boom, that's it. But then on the other token, you've got counselling, which is when the client talks and the client feels good and the counsellor just listens. So you can either talk to them and they can feel better, or you can let them do the talking and then they'll feel better. Okay? But on the other hand, you've got this coaching aspect, which is a question of, okay, well, let's sit down and talk about these. So you have a dialogue and you have both people talking, and then you can provide more benefits to the other individual. So it's not classical counselling, because classical counselling is predominantly listening orientated rather than talking orientated, and it's not predominantly classic tarot reading, because classic tarot reading would be me doing tons of talking and them doing tons of listening, and I'm feeling better that way. Okay, so instead we got it's trying to leverage the benefits of both and to find a middle ground. That's one of the many reasons I'm doing it, because I want to try and do people some good. So I know it's come out as a bit of a rant, but I've had a bit too much caffeine today, and that's obviously not very good for my health, of neither mind nor body. But on the other hand, don't worry about it. But what I hope I've explained is that there has been a real importance to the ethical side of my previous explanations about paranormal, occult, supernaturalist type stuff. Okay, it is really important that variety of ethical message is expressed, in my humble opinion, because there's some there's some good to it all. Okay, we're talking about what would be, in my humble opinion, something which is part of the way in which the universe is made, part of the way in which we are made. Okay, it says something about us, but we can't say enough about what these experiences say as of yet. if I was, and this is where I'm getting into the hypothetical realm now, okay, but if I was the kind of, in inverted commas, New Ager or occultist or spiritualist or whatever you want to call it, who would try and lay down some kind of truth claim based upon my experiences, I would probably be saying an awful lot more about them. And I will probably be going into even greater detail. I mean, when I had that one experience many years ago, when I got that sensation as a result of that ritual, that bolt of lightning to my head, and I heard the phrase inside my head, "You chose it. You chose it." It did feel like there was some kind of decision made prior to my birth, a long, long time ago, as part of some kind of like massive consciousness of which we're all a part, that decided that I would come into existence, that I would go through the bad stuff I've been through, so that something good can come out of it. And it's almost as if there was some kind of original choice. Which is, of course, weird. And I could elaborate upon that even further. But I don't want to elaborate upon that even further. I don't think it's right to. So I have to leave it hanging in the air. I have to leave it ambivalent. And that's ethical. That's what's right. And I don't think it would be right to just go into that any further. Because otherwise you'll end up with people believing, as a hard truth fact, that every single medium and spiritualist who is under the category or classification of an entertainer, legally and ethically speaking, okay, is giving all the hard and fast facts, which basically, we can't always do. And why is it that all of these professional mediums have got an American Indian spirit guide? Like, the white people go over to what is now America, kill all the American Indians, and they, like, when they're dead, come back and decide, okay, well, we got to help these people who killed us. Do you really think that would make a lot of sense? I don't. Alright? And also got to think about why these, spiritualists and mediums have very simple, archetypal spirit guides. Where did that come from? Often a Native American Indian, often a postmenopausal woman. Why is this? Well, it's because it's archetypal, isn't it? The archetype of the mother image, nurturing, caring, providing for you, and so on and so forth. And also providing that, sense of calming, making you feel better, making you feel loved, okay? That's why, it's psychology to try and bring in the customers, basically. It's not very healthy. There's ways in which this industry does things which I disapprove of. And I can only hope that I will carry, I am going to carry on doing videos. I am going to carry on talking to people on the internet and trying to help people out and trying to use my negative experiences to try and help people and all the things I've seen and all the things I've heard and all the things I've known, okay? But, I guess I care. I guess I care, and I think that's both a good thing and a bad thing. I don't want anyone to go crazy. I just want people to just try and get back to a place of harmony and peace and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want people to enter into all this weird New Age world and go insane. And on top of that, I don't want them to get skeptical, because all they've ever done is heard the complete falsifications and bullshit and lies and rubbish dreamt up by people who are just, after money, or after setting up yet another new religion, or after setting up yet another new cult. And people develop like an animosity against people, against ideas, because they've had a few bad experiences. I want that to come to an end as well. It's just like all these millions of things in the world that I just love to change. And all I've got is a video blog and my voice.